All right, ladies and gents, welcome to some low elo legends. Please forgive my viewers here. We're talking about beer at the moment, but we've got two 550 elo players. In the red, we've got Mr. 58, or like Mr. 550. Am I right? Woohoo! Woohoo! Woo. And then here in the blue, you've got Halof, and Halof is playing as the Franks. Now, Franks is not a surprise to me. If you are looking to learn the game and play with a solid overall civilization, Franks is one of the go-tos, I would say. From their cheaper farms, to their forage bonus, to their cheaper castles, to just the fact that I think playing into knights is generally a bit easier than playing into archers. Halof, are you going to send your villagers to work here? I think Franks is one that we see a lot, right? In the, is it half off? And maybe half off his castles because he's Franks. And then here in the red, we have a civ that I don't see picked a lot. In fact, I could maybe make a statement that's bold and say, this is the first time I have seen Indians sub 600 elo ever. I don't have the reasoning for that because I think Indians are actually a really good civ. Now, it's different because you can't actually make knights with them. You do maybe need to have a bit more in the way of unique civ knowledge. But from cheaper villagers every age, to having great cav archers if you want to go that route, to having strong camels, which is good against knights, and a lot of people seem to go knights these days, I think Indians are strong. So looking at the execution here, because that's always important, I'm also very impressed with Red's start. Scouting the map in a circle, a little unfortunate not to find the goat. Oh, what? What the? Not sure how that happened, but bringing in the food underneath the TC. And I think Red is chopping the straggler trees for now, but is maybe just waiting to see where a good wood line would be for the lumber camps. Now, over here, we have Halof, and Halof is having a very different start. First off, you have Halof scouting with the goats like a pro. Okay. Second, you've got Halof chopping the straggler trees, same thing. And Halof is going to go for the berry opening. You can already see that having the cheaper villagers has definitely helped Red, because Red has been able to keep the villagers producing out of the TC. But okay, Red really hates the straggler trees, wants to take these out, and will do so in pretty quick time with 6 on wood. Geez, at this point, Red could just make a new TC. Now, it's 550. Do you guys think all these trees are going to be chopped through? I kind of feel like Red's not going to make a lumber camp until all the trees are gone. Now, these straggler trees, thankfully, aren't that bad. I hope Red doesn't go out to chop these. But when I look at players chopping stragglers and I think about efficiency, this isn't too bad. If it's way out here, this is where I start to really make it... It makes it difficult for me to watch. Man, Red's start is so good. Okay, here comes a Vil. It seems like her 3 friends are in on helping here. All right, bringing in the elephant. Not the most perfect lore ever, but just taking the elephant. 400 food. Let's go. What about blue right now? Wow, great scouting. Honestly, I'm so far very impressed that these guys are 550 elo. Nothing about this start has really screamed 550 elo except for the straggler trees. Apart from that, maybe the TC idle time for blue is a little intense. Blue wants to make some houses here along the gold. All right. We will wait. Now, what's nice is if we see 2 players, 550 elo, we might say, okay, well, this person isn't actually 550 elo. I get a lot of that. Like, no, I think this person's probably better, and they either had a losing streak because their mouse was broken, or they lost games intentionally so they could beat up on noobs. I don't think that's happening right now. I really don't. Because I think all things tend to even out with proper matchmaking. So again, if you play ranked, I talked about this a lot today. I want this to hit YouTube as many times as possible. You are going to lose some games during that placement period. But if you push past that placement period, which is 10 games, generally you're going to be matched with people who are around your elo. And then the game should be 50-50. And then if one person gains a Vil lead early, you might catch up later on because matchmaking has a tendency of putting people rather close to each other. I'm not sure if I should make a video, by the way, on tips for getting into ranked play, but I'm really debating it. The problem is I have so many other videos I want to do, and I haven't gotten around to even finishing them yet, so that's like... The biggest issue for me is time. But it's sad to me how many people have played, like, less than 5 ranked games. Like, they'll play a ranked game, and then they might lose it and be like, nope, I'm done, and then they go right back to lobby browser. Because I feel like, you know, maybe with some tips, people might stick around a little bit longer in ranked. Maybe be able to make it into some low evil legend. Okay, this hurt for red. Red fixed that. Brings in an elephant now. Still queuing up a lot of villagers right now. Blue hasn't even taken an elephant yet, but I have a feeling that's about to change. Wait, no, she... Did you see that? That was people... This is people... Hold on, let me go back. Okay, this is my YouTube audience, okay? This is my YouTube audience. This lady is someone who wants to go try ranked. And then they encounter the elephant. And then they're like, ooh, oh, God, that's a ranked game? Oh, no, and they go right back to the AI. That's exactly what that is right there. I wonder why, because blue wants to take this one. Ah, I see. Yeah, this makes a little more sense for now, right? It's close to the mill. It'll be more efficient, and it should be a bit easier because all these villagers are in on the deal now. All right, good work there from Haloff. And red. Still with so many villagers in queue, but I'm loving the lack of idle TC time. Seriously. I also love the lumber camp. I love the amount on wood right now. Mining camp could be a bit, better, but overall still good. And to me, this looks like a fast castle build. I don't know if the word fast should necessarily apply to it at 550 elo, but still, I think that's the plan. And I think it's going to be the same for Haloff. I think Haloff is going to take some stone and maybe hope for towers or castles, whatever's needed later on. I used to do a lot of this. I didn't really have a game plan necessarily, but I would bring in my food. And then I would send a couple vills to stone, a couple vills to gold, and then just kind of adapt from there. And I think it's a good way of playing the game if you don't want to learn any builds, or if you're not at the point where you can really execute those yet. Okay. Well, I don't think this will be a perfectly executed fast castle for red. I don't think it'll be a perfectly executed fast castle for blue. But... overall, pretty close game. I'd say the main difference here, though, is that red produces villagers with a lot more frequency, and that can separate players. 26 villagers working right now versus 21 working right now is a pretty big difference. Now, if I had to guess, I would say that red is not a player who's as aggressive as blue. Could be wrong, but that would be my guess here as... oh, that's so funny. Okay, so if that happens, if something runs over top of your foundation, you actually need to retask your vills. Hey, there you go. All right, so here's where it gets a little sloppy. Because these 9 villagers are about to finish their berries. How does red want to play feudal here? If you don't have the perfect resources to go castle age, my suggestion is just rush your eco upgrade. So go for your wood, go for your farm upgrade. Boom, easy. Don't want to do that, of course, if you can go castle age. You might want to delay that a bit. Farm upgrade comes in for free with Frank, so that's really good for blue. Blue's got lots of wood to make farms. No upgrades yet for Mr. 58. Who's click these villagers to this tree, so they're going to finish that thing first. Okay, so one of the 2 buildings required to go up to the next stage is here. You could go blacksmith, or you could go for any follow-up to this. So you could go archer range or stable. It is pretty close for red. It is pretty close. Now red's going to get the wood upgrade. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see red going FC here, or fast castle, or whatever. It's interesting to me how red isn't really auto-scouting, though. It's all manual scouting. If you look at blue, this looks... no, this is manual. Look at the designs here. Looks like waypoint scouting here from blue, who maybe waypoint scouted over the whole map. Honestly, props to both of them for that. I know a lot of my listeners will click auto scout on their scout and just let it do the job for them. But I feel like it doesn't make you a better scouter. It doesn't make you more attentive. It doesn't help you practice. So that's pretty cool. Now blue will see this. Now will blue actually look over here and try and say, oh, this must be this strategy, blah, 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 blah. Probably not, right? But it's good to know it's there. Yeah, man. Having horse color farms right here. Woo! That's nice. That's nice. And I guess at the end of the day, blue is going to be able to go to Castle Age as well. And blue will have plenty of food on these farms in the long run here. I do it manually, but it still doesn't help me be more aware of anything. I guess that's the habit thing, right? Of like going back to it more frequently. It depends on your elo. You said you're 1,000 elo, Stashville. Like for you, you definitely should be looking. You should be manually scouting and you should be looking to see what they're up to. Like if you're going to go aggressive and you see this, you're like, oh, they literally can't stop me. What are they going to do? And then you can assess the situation and adapt. Or if you've got no military buildings and you see stables, you're like, oh, maybe I should make monasteries and make monks. Ooh, maybe I should make a few pikes. But again, the big difference here is that blue does not create villagers as frequently. In fact, I'm impressed with red. I'm really impressed with red because having under 2 minutes of TC idle time at this elo is pretty wild. They are the same elo, though. You've got to think there's something red struggles with. And if I had to guess, I would say that's aggression. I think red's a player who's more of a pacifist, who will prefer to just sit at home. And, ooh, lots of spearmen here. Okay. Yeah, walling with buildings isn't necessarily something exclusive to high elo. Oh. Garrison? No way. That scout survives. 3 HP. That scout survives for red. But you can see blue is doing the same. I think the way blue is walled here definitely says this isn't someone who's higher elo. Like, I don't think higher elo players would do that. They'd do this, probably. They would never want to block off that gold. So I think red's walls look a little better in that regard. Man, what's the plan here for red? Looks like just spearmen for now. Will they rush their Castle Age eco upgrades? Passive game, very chill. Yo, we're seeing them. Yeah, there we go. Scout comes home. It'd be so funny if that scout gets healed. As of yet, we have not seen a kill or death in this game. You know, have forging for these spearmen. First thing blue does, add a second town center. Now, I've tried to think about why people would make TCs like this. Do you guys remember my number one reason for why a TC would be placed like this? The reason I ask this is because normally you want it on a wood line, or you want it directly on the gold. Tell you, my theory, I think my chat's about to chime in, but my theory on this is that a lot of people don't, they struggle if their eco is in too many different spots. Yeah. So Death says it's near the other TC. Yeah, so like, let's say you're not a good hotkey player, and you can't toggle. I guess I can't give you a good example of it with blue. You don't do this to create vills, or you don't like to use the select TC all hotkey. You don't like to do that. Having it on the same part of the screen will help you manage it. I think that's why. That's my guess. I have no facts to back that up. But it is kind of a farm TC. But it's good that blue has a second one, because red is one TC. But it has more villagers right now. Okay, we have murder holes! And, oh, dude, it's adorable. It's adorable. What are you... Hey, monk. Hey, old man that worships God and loves everyone. What are you doing? Okay, I'm sorry. It's not so adorable. I thought the scout was going to get healed up. Apparently, these monks do not care whatsoever. They're pretty greedy for monks, you know? Like, Going out here to get the gold. That's not very monk-like. But I guess God wants it. But this is a very low elo outlook. Like, the AIs always have murder holes in the campaigns. So, you know, you go underneath a castle or a tower, it still fires. It feels really important. So murder holes gets rushed for that reason. Relics, and I don't think this is something that should be overlooked. Relics, when the game goes on for a long time, super important in Age of Empires 2. It takes a long time for payoff, but you get a trickle of gold per relic. So snagging them now, especially when you're in Elo where players really aren't that good at killing people off, is important. And hey, finally, the scout gets healed up. There you go. Okay. Third TC here for Halof. Now let's test our theory. Halof producing out of both these TCs. Will the third one be as active? I'm going to hope yes. I'm going to guess no. Okay, no monastery for blue. Just focus on the farms. And okay, so that's a lot of ills. We'll keep an eye on that later, but nice job, blue. Really nice job from blue. Blue's definitely a better boomer. Not like way better, because red had that lead, but a little better. Race, what's up, man? He says, hey, T90, watched almost every vid on YouTube, but this is my first time on the stream. Welcome. Loving it so far and keep up the great work. Quick question, any updates / thoughts on doing a LAN party or meetup? He says, I live in Canada, but if you do a meetup and I can't see the rest of the message. So yeah, here's the deal. If I ever do something like that, kind of regardless of where I do it, I'll make sure people know well in advance. I would treat that just like I would treat a really important tournament. I would let you all know, okay? It's tricky because I would say, well, my audience is global, but a great deal of, say, my YouTube audience, and you came in from YouTube, is from, like, Canada and the US, like maybe 40%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but 40% in those two countries is significant. But also, Canada and the US is, like, freaking massive. Hey, we got our first kill. It's really big, right? So if I were to do something, I would let people know. Ideally, like, I want COVID to settle down more before people would travel to things like this. I want to do it as safely as possible. So I guess I didn't really answer your question, but to say I don't know where it would be, and I don't know when it will happen, but I do want to make sure it happens. Okay. Like 2018, I did... at that time, I was trying to decide on what area to live because I didn't want to live in Pennsylvania anymore. I was kind of traveling around to a few states, taking many vacations, and I did one in North Carolina. And my following at that time was so much smaller than it is now. And we had like 13, 12 people show up. It was pretty cool. I didn't expect it at all. Wow, okay, so let's talk long-term unit comps, I guess. Indians do get help. Indians do get help, which means the pikes can be upgraded, which is great. Downsides to that would be Franks can actually have that covered if they go for Axemen. I don't, however, feel as though Axemen is something a low elo player is going to really commit to. But yeah, so just meeting fans has been some of the nicest moments of my career. So in October, we were in Germany for Red Bull, and there was no public meetup, no public information about that because of COVID, right? But it was at a public castle. I'm like leaving the castle in my outfit and walking over to the restaurant, and there's these people, and they're like, I didn't know who they were, but I noticed they were kind of staring at me, like a little longer than I would normally get stares. Hold on, we're gonna hold that thought. So red plugs a one-tile gap with the tower, and blue happens to show up to that gap with knights and gets completely trapped in? Can I... Okay, we'll continue the story in a second. I need to rewind. What are the odds that that even happens? Did blue have that scouted? Hold on, I need to go back. Okay, so blue didn't have it scouted at all. That was so crazy, man. That was so crazy. I don't know if that's a pathing thing, like... the knights still think there's a hole there because it's a tower blocking the spot. But he didn't have any vision on that until he arrived. My guess would be maybe the knights were clicked back there before the tower was placed. That would be my guess. So when the knights were tasked, they thought there was a way to go that direction. Anyways, perfect timing there for red. But yeah, so I'm like walking to get food as blue's going to run away. And there's these people staring at me. I was like, I don't know what's up with that. And so I ate. I didn't really think much of it. And I came back, and then the people were still there. And I was like, okay, hold on a second. And then so one of them was like, T90, you know. And so people just showed up to the castle. It was so cool, man. I got to meet people that I've known from my chats and comments and whatnot for years. Especially like people from community games and everything. And that wasn't even planned. So I feel like as content creators, you're constantly thinking about the content, numbers. And as viewers, you're constantly thinking content, and not necessarily like the streamer. But that, like, all the moments where, you know, it's back to the people, you know, not that gets forgotten, but like, you know, getting to meet you guys is really cool. And you guys, especially this year, have been really, as blue wants to make a TC on that gold. I like that, actually. You know, you guys have a tendency to send that right back my way. I care about the man, not just the streamer, you know? I love this community for that. Okay, so red's imping. Red does have 3 relics. Like, that's a big deal. At this point, the relics have brought in 600 gold. The farming is very efficient for red, I have to say. And red is getting sultans, which increases the gold income for Indians. It's probably a tech not a lot of you are aware of. It also increases relic gold, if I'm not mistaken. That's not bad. Okay, we have... So the last time that blue was at red's base, blue saw pikes. And also saw archer ranges, which might be a little confusing. Is adding barracks to maybe make more or make some of his own pikes. Now, Blaine, I first met I actually didn't meet Doubt at that time, but like the AoE like pro scene pretty much. I met those guys many years ago. The first time I met anyone in person, as red is attacking blue's TC with the scout. It'd be funny to me. It's like every time I want to tell a story, they do something funny. I don't think blue can see that easily. Think about it if you're new to the game. Would you be able to notice that? Okay, maybe I'm not giving him enough credit. Didn't garrison and is going to let the knights do the job. There we go. Yeah, like 2017, I think, was the first time I met a lot of the people in person. At least, not everyone, but a fair amount. Okay, here we go. I agree with someone in chat. Like, this is really good for 550 elo. The only thing is, like, they're kind of moving at the same pace, so it is a bit slow. But 85 vills and, like, all these techs coming in, low elo is constantly so confusing to me. This is really good. It's peaceful, and I have a feeling if either of them were to ever get rushed in the slightest, they might just resign and give up immediately, which might explain their elo. That's not bad. Whoa, what's she doing over here? Wait a second. Okay, red villager near where a blue foundation has already been going up. Wait, what? Hold on. I'm missing a lot in this game. This is actually more happening than I thought. How did that... Oh, the lion got the kill. I see, okay. Lion got the kill against the villager from blue, which is a bit weird. Because blue had looms, so I guess blue sent a very weak villager over here. And now the lion is going to attack the villager from red. Does Capture Rate say the lion has 1 kill? Yes, it does. 1 kill. Gotta love the updated stats. As if the lions could get friendly fire there. That's funny. Okay, so now blue recognizes this, sends more villagers. And red is going to take that gold. Now, guys, we're seeing elephant archers. And honestly, if you have the time, elephant archers are not a meme. They are incredibly tanky. It's tough to kill them, but they can kill you with good upgrades. I think it's 350 HP for an elite elephant archer. And then it's 7 plus whatever, upgrades they have attack. That's no joke. So composition, including elephant archers, can be very strong. And look at Red with the map control. Red sees this. Red already in the Imperial Age and has been for some time and is going to try and click the villagers, but accidentally clicked the town center a bunch of times. That town center's at 90%. Blue completely bails on this, though. A great job from Red, and Red's like, you know what? I might have 1,400 stone. And I might be able to just drop a castle, which would be so much more effective and make so much more sense and would make T90 stop talking about this. But you know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to drop a tower. Because we need to save that stone. Stone is a precious resource. We need to save our stone for later. Okay. Here comes Blue. Now, the thing about these elephants are, you do need to have more than 3 of them. Like, you still need to have decent numbers. I wouldn't consider 3 decent. Red is going to upgrade them now to elite elephant archer. But as the knights and the pikemen come in, these elephants will die. And again, maybe a castle would have been denied. A castle would mean you could still hold this position. Red's going to lose these vills, though. And I think Blue's villagers will come over here and finish this later. Lots of halbs right now for Red. And if Red had the halbs there, Red would have been fine. But now we got to really see what their multitasking looks like. But I still, as I look at this, almost don't believe that Red is a true 550 elo player because that economy is just so good. I don't understand. I have to look at their profiles. I didn't get to do that before hopping into this. Maybe I didn't see something properly. Can someone look them up? Over 80 vills? Good blacksmith upgrades? There's no way this is 550. Normally I have a website I use. The website was down, so I went into the game. Maybe I missed... Yeah, I just didn't see it properly. Good blacksmith upgrades here. Like, the only thing from Red which really stood out is like, okay, this guy's kind of a lower elo player was murder holes instantly. But it's not that bad. The site's still down? Gotcha, okay. The tough matchup for Franks. What I would do, as I stated before, is I would probably consider mixing an Axeman. Like Axeman Paladin is your best unit comp here. I think if you go for the Axeman, then they can't really go halbs effectively against you. Or even camels, they can't go effectively against you. And look at Blue with the raid. Let's go. Blue with the raid. And there's a random Trebuchet here for Red. Looks like that Treb could go down. Good addition from Red, though, to go for the hand cannons. And Red seems very scared. Red's going to drop a castle here. Despite the fact that Red does also have the military to deal with this. So I actually think this is maybe where we're starting to see the elo a little bit. I'd love to see Blue send as many villagers to here as possible, but drop a castle right next to all this. Good raid. And look at what that did to Red. He rang the bell. Oh, God. Okay, now I see it. Rang the bell. All those villagers stopped working. Did get 4 relics, by the way. Does not see the 5th one in that corner. Maybe Blue will find it. So are the sites down? Gotcha. Yeah, maybe it has something to do with the fact that they're going to be doing server maintenance tomorrow. See, those sites are really important to us. But they are not officially supported by Microsoft in any way. Which I think is probably, like, maybe... I don't know why they go down as frequently as they do, but they do go down pretty frequently. Hand Cannon plus Camel is greater than Paladin plus Axeman, in my opinion. I don't think so. Ooh, that's tricky. That's a tricky one. I would say the main thing is... hand cannons much lower HP. Like if hand cannons get hit, they die so much faster there. The hand cannon's 40 HP. I think Elite Axeman's like 80 something. But I mean, you are right. It is still a nightmare matchup for Franks. It's not a fun matchup to play. I think Cav Archer Camel. Like, that's what I would like. Cav Archer Camel. Whew. That's where it gets tough. And good job from Blue. Like, Blue's thinking, I need to secure this position. However, Red, realizing that the position's still important, comes over. This is what you want in a competitive Age of Empires game. Now, what Red should do right now is bring the Trebs, Treb it down, and drop a castle here. Right here. Okay, Blue's going to try again. Now, what I like for Blue is Blue's massing stuff here at the moment. I think both players should attempt to recognize the other important areas of the map. And it was always going to be this hill. Like, look at this hill. Gold tier, gold tier. Something I would have talked about more. Oh, my goodness. I think my stream just went down. And I jumped massively. This has been happening at random times. Am I back now, guys? Hello? Hello? I think we're okay. Chad, tell me if you can see me. Anyways, like, if it was a more competitive game, I would have talked about this hill. I would have talked about how there's golds right beneath it. Okay, we're good. Okay, sorry. That was weird. Paladin's on the way. I mean, we do not see any real tanky, high HP units out there for Red. Remember, Red researched Elite, not War Elephant, Elephant Archer. We haven't seen that yet. They do have pretty solid upgrades. This is going to be the end of this castle for Blue. I like the attempt, though, from Blue. And I think Hand Cannon Help is good against straight Paladin if you have the numbers. But just compare the HP. 4,500 HP with this group here versus 1,600 HP if it was full HP. Paladin is insanely tough to stop, and I think Halof knows this. Now, I'm going to say that lack of upgrades cancels out here because you don't have a single armor upgrade for Red, but does have +2 attack. We've got +2/+2, though, for Blue, so Blue actually having more in the way of upgrades there. We'll be taking engagement before Paladin, which is probably the worst time to take an engagement here. But really wants to take care of the Trebs, and... Oh, please fight! Sometimes the best thing to do is just let your units engage. Just let your units fight. Just let them kill. Okay, he wanted to micro there. Ooh, ooh. How? Okay, you know what? I take it back. That was nifty. I think Blue knows enough to know that that was a scary ball of units to fight. And if Blue knows that, Blue will then make a unit that will take care of this, right? Because Blue had a healthy fear, I'd say, of those halbs. So with that in mind, you should make something else, right? Now, could have won that fight. Look at Red, trying to get production buildings up on the front. Blue is here. Blue arrives to the gold. And this is anti-micro right now, Blue. Let your units attack. This is why we always suggest patrolling in and not clicking a target. Or you just sit them in there on attack stance and let them do their thing. Okay, you're doing that now. The way Blue's controlling his Paladins does make me feel as though... this is... Okay, really good micro, actually. Really good micro. It does make me feel like Blue will have one of those fights where he runs into it and could win the fight. But then doesn't let his units engage. You know, like, the likelihood is there that Blue will do that at some point. But there's been some really nifty moves, I have to say. But again, Blue has a healthy fear of these halbs. So if you cannot clear up these halbs, if you're scared of fighting those halbs, what's the answer going to be? And right now, it looks like the answer is going to be, well, his own pointy boys. He says, well, you're pointy, I'm pointy, we're all pointy, woo. If that's the case, there are going to be hand cannons out there. Now, hand cannons are kind of designed to take out infantry, so it's a good comp for Red. Also, what I love most about Red's situation is Red's got tons of units in queue. I love that. Tons of units in queue. Blue tried to send in some Paladins to take out the hand cannons. Hand cannons aren't awful against Paladins. If they have higher numbers, there's not. Wait. Halbs pop out. Okay, let's see what blue does here. I'm worried he's going to, like, completely panic and not attack anything. Oh, okay. It's going to take the fight. And it's going to win the fight. And I like that because blue just let his paladins attack. My goodness, how good would Axeman be here, though? How good would a castle be here regardless? Blue is able to keep some vills alive here, is making paladins on the side. He's also taking that extra gold. And yes, let's go. Blue is now going to castle drop this position. I like it. Now, a lot of these, the reason the fights are going so well is because red doesn't have any armor. But also it's because paladin wrecks a halb in a 1v1. And so we're looking at 20 paladins, and every time the halbs engage, they're only at like 10 or 15. I guess both players are missing infantry armor, to be fair. So this is where, if you're red, this is like a diseased leg that's going to infect the rest of the body if you continue to let it breathe, or to let it be attached to your body. Cut it off. And I don't mean delete it in the game. Let it die, okay? Just accept you're going to lose that leg, and then use your other leg. Yeah, using the other leg. Good. Make more buildings. This is good. So you just let that happen, and you have to prepare for everything else. Red's got a lot of gold right now. Oh, okay. He almost let... Oh, he locked it. Wow, red noticed that. Good job, red. Who's got plenty of trebs behind the walls right now. I'm just going to guess that neither player is going to get any more blacksmith upgrades from here. That's just a guess because... Is there not a hole there? You just might want to take the houses out anyways. That's just a guess because of how stressful this is right now. But look at the army value. That tells you the cost of the army right now. But blue does have 89 halbs in queue. Okay, here comes the paladins. They're looking to raid, get some damage in that way. Obviously, some halbs are going to chase that down. Now, blue, you've got this position. You're going to want to keep this position. You're going to keep it rolling. I love this. I love how he's using his mobility. He seems to really do a good job with babysitting his paladins. I kind of take back what I said earlier. He had that one or two rough instances, but this is good. And sometimes you just leave. Sometimes you're like, well, I'll leave, and I'll send in a unit that can deal with the halbs because this is not so good. Look at that. Probably isn't doing anything else, just waiting for the trebs to come out. But yeah, look at this. Oh, that was so good. And these paladins are going to kill 10 vills. Okay. Red is going to research handcart because when the villagers end up working again, he wants them to be very efficient. Oh, wow. I could feel the difference already. I can feel the difference already. Paladin here attacking. Red trying to wall up. And I've said it many times, but if you raid somebody, guys, even with something small, they get distracted. And it opens up opportunities for you to do things in the other areas. Now, I know Indian villagers are cheap, but it's really unfair to the villagers to have them fight a paladin. This is just not cool, Red. Maybe there's a unit designed for that. I think Red is getting a little overwhelmed at the moment, and here comes Blue. I don't know how Red's Treb got over there at all. A villager duel continues with the paladin. I think Red is slowly losing his mind over here. And we have Trebs against Trebs, which is probably not a situation that we see, that Blue sees too frequently. And actually, great defense from Red. This is great defense from him. There is a gap over here. Needs to get his halbs over there, but... Okay. Now, this is where I would suggest, if you're going to raid, guys... Maybe don't raid with your killer unit, your paladin. At least if you don't have the relics. It might make a little bit more sense to raid with something like Light Cav that are obviously great at killing vills, but you don't have to worry about making more of because they just cost food. And Blue saw the trebs, and Blue's like, I need to kill the trebs. And Red's like, here, I'll take you right to them. Let me show you. Yeah, they're right here. As you can see on the left, we've got the lead Treb. And then, surprise! I don't know why Red just let him walk in here. But surprise, buddy. It looks like one will go down. But it could have been worse. Now, I mentioned it. I mentioned it a long time ago. I said, Blue has a healthy fear of Halbs. Blue was doing this whole micro little dance thing, right? And I said, what are you going to do to deal with Halbs? You clearly know they're bad. And Blue basically said, I'm going to make my own Halbs. And is now going to get Chivalry, which increases the speed of stables, which, well, it's going to give you more Paladins, that's for sure. Blue is dropping a 1 villager castle for maximum map control against Red. And it's actually working. Okay, never mind. Red sees it. Here he comes, and she's like, you know what? I don't get paid enough for this job. Just kill me. Yep. Okay, delete the stone. Yeah, there you go. Axeman. Axeman, 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 Axeman. Oh my, idols. Idols, idols, idols. Idols. Idols everywhere for Blue. This is actually a very big problem. Of the 97 eco that we see out there for Blue, 49 of them are idle. As we have the Ting Tings fighting here. We have more Paladins run in, and you can't say that Blue hasn't benefited from these raids. Blue certainly has. They both have so much food right now. Look at the Paladins go. They might actually take out some Trebs here. Imagine if he took out the monastery and then he took the relics to the corner. That'd be epic. This has now reached a point where it's how good is your late game? And that just comes down to, are you creating more vills? Are you fixing your idols? What type of unicomp are you making? And it seems like the first two things I mentioned there, they're not going to happen. Idols are not going to be addressed. And I don't think they're going to create more vills. So whatever they can afford over the next 5 minutes, I think makes all the difference. And that castle! The castle on the hill! Blue, take out the Treb! Oh no, it's at 420 and it's going to be blazed down. Oh, jeez. Not the blaze that he was looking for. Now that's interesting because I actually forget how much damage a Trebuchet does on an uphill hit. But I didn't actually think it was 420. I thought it was like 389. And I'm looking at that castle spot. And it's like kind of in a divot. It almost makes me feel like if it was up on a hill, it would, that final shot wouldn't have taken it out, but I could be wrong. Okay, here we've got Paladins. Blue is now making Halbs. Surprise, surprise. Red, the town bell has been rung. Ding, 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 ding. Town bell has been rung. Everyone's home for dinner right now. That's the strat right there. Is just send units into Red's base so Red's eco stops working. Red has siege engineers, perhaps? I don't think so. I don't think so. Here comes Blue again. Now, this time it's different because last time Red had 6 Trebs. Not the case anymore. And man, oh man, how it would help Red to get the final attack upgrade on the Halbs, because Red is fighting with the worst Halbs right now. And how much it would help Red send villagers back to work. And how much it would help Blue and Red to get armor upgrades for the infantry. Good job from Red to track this, though. And good job. Okay, this is also really smart because he's sick of this. He's like, you know what? I'm sick of your crap. And he knew something was down there. Castle, though, will go down here. Well, when it gets hit, it will go down to the Treb. And there it goes. And Blue has been the aggressor. And I mentioned the idols. They have not been touched in 1 hour. So I'm going to give you guys a tip because there's going to be some people who are like, dude, late game is so tough. I can't deal with idols. You probably have a hotkey for idle villager. You're just not using a lot. Do what I do and set a hotkey for select all idle villagers. So if you're in this position, like if it's late game and you're not even looking at it, right? Just out of the habit of it, you press that hotkey and then you just send them all to wood, or you click them all somewhere. Like Select all idols. Boom, lumber camp. And all the vills from all over the map that are idle will go there and start to actually work. Makes a big difference, trust me. For me, I kind of regret doing this, to be honest. I feel like it affects my early game. But my idle hotkey is actually scroll down. So if I scroll down, it goes to my idle villagers. And so I set my select all idle hotkey to shift scroll down. And then it selects them all, and then I just send them somewhere else. I don't know what the default hotkey is for that. You'd have to look. Oh, red with the fiery blacksmith is finally getting armor. We have ourselves a game, folks. Great raids again from blue here. I think a lot of people still use like tab or period for idols. I changed that, and I kind of wish I wouldn't have changed it, to be honest, because I think there's some negative repercussions to what I do, but that's what I do, so. It doesn't matter. Just I'd suggest setting a hotkey for it for instances in late game where you've probably got idols and you're just not aware of it. Man. Let's look at the idle time. In fact, I haven't shown it in a while. If you had to guess the villager idle number, or the idle time for red in this game, what would you guess? How long? I would guess 5 hours and 12 minutes. I'm going to wait till people get their guesses in. 5 hours, 12 minutes is what I would guess. 4 hours, 12 hours for blue. Actually, I'm talking about red. Blue would honestly be really bad. Blue might have even lapsed into the second day at this point. That's what it is for red. Blues is like... I'm going to go 11 hours and 30 minutes for blue, and that seems low. Ready? Oh! God! Woo! We suck, man. Some of you got blues, but reds has been really bad as well. Holy crap. Sleeping on the job over here. Now, red's problem is that, or blue's problem is that blue didn't get relics. And slowly, that gold is all disappearing. We've got a fiery treb here attacking the TC. Okay. I like how red has been saving up the trebs. I really like that. I like how red also walled this up. I don't know if I've ever had this stat go over 24 hours. I'm not sure what happened, so I'm going to keep an eye on this. So it's funny was, back in the day, before the definitive edition, we had a program that would show some idle time too. But it would max out at 24 hours. So if it went past 24 hours, it would go back to like 1 second, 1 minute, 5 minutes. And so I remember casting in the old days where if it went over 24 hours, it would just start over again. I highly doubt Capture Age does that, but... Oh, wait a second. Oh my god, blue has addressed the idols. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, we have eco again for blue. Wow. Okay. Also, look at this. More villagers going down for red. So red only has 70 villagers. And only has 9,000 food and 6,000 gold. Now, I think I'm seeing the 550 from both of them, right? It's like they both need to... They both need a bit more time to relax and chill, which is understandable. You're seeing it now, whereas before, I was really impressed with their early game and how they managed things. Late game is stressful, man, and it's hard to think of creating units all the time, especially when you're in red's position, getting raided all the time. Okay, red is now making more villagers, which is something you need to do, especially if you've lost them. Red is only making them out of 1 TC, though. Must be a budget issue. I heard a treb somewhere. Okay, 1 lonely treb for Halof. Sneaky. I would normally prefer it be 4, but I don't think that blue can really afford that. And what does red do? Red does what you do in these situations. You react. That has been the downside for Mr. 58. Whole lot of reacting here. How about skirms now versus halbs and hand cannons? I would absolutely love it. If you weren't Franks, I don't like it if you are Franks because you lack the final attack and the final armor. And against more capable players, they'll just add stables and they'll just go for some hussars. And their hussars would take care of you there. Now, obviously, you've got your halbs. I think it is good though if you're not close to pop cap in this situation. So I don't know. I guess it depends because he's only at 130 pop. If that helps him get more military on the field, then maybe. Great job from blue. Saves this treb. Now has another treb. And red's got to be annoyed with this. And he's trying to break in so he can raid with paladins again. But again, light cav from blue would be amazing because light cav don't cost gold. And you can use light cav to raid constantly. Oh man, if blue only knew about the trebs there. Okay, you have a villager and a halb. It's a love story, but it's not going to end nicely. Okay, they're going to go down fighting valiantly together. We now have these 3 trebs going after the barracks. Which blue is going to see. Meanwhile, red has house wall. Red is so sick of raids, but doesn't want to use stone. So is house walling the flanks. We now have blue back on this side. The switcheroo. And, of course, we'll take out all the trebs as well. I think red's going to lose this. If blue continues to switch sides like this, even if it's not even with paladins, just like cav and halbs, I think red will eventually get whittled down. Like, red will run out of wood at this rate. It'll take a while, but... Now, I think what should be important is taking out that monastery, but I don't think blue even cares. Blue does care about relics! God knows how long this monk has been here. I didn't even think to check. Okay, blue. I'm seeing what you're saying, all right? I understand you want control, but let's not waste stone on a watchtower, especially if we're Franks. Because Frank castles are so cheap. A watchtower is like a fourth of a castle. You should just save that, and then you can make a castle somewhere. Now, what I'd like to see from red is some attempt to raid. Right? Red is 0 raiding units. They both have the food eco to do that, but red in particular has not gone for stable units. And I think if that were to happen, blue would get wrecked. Blue would get wrecked if things were to get spread out and raid. So this is your killer force. This is your main ball, okay? The death ball approach is good. I even like the bombard cannon idea. Apparently we're seeing those. But after that, or sorry, in the build up to doing that, why don't you send some units into their eco? Blue's like, wow, I really need golds. And blue is just sitting there. Click, 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 selling. Click, 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 selling all the food. Now has plenty of gold. All the gold disappeared, and what do we have? Paladin. All right. So blue's going to make more paladin. This is a grind and a half right now. This could still go either way. This is a long, intense battle. Both players still looking to catch up on upgrades, but it's red who's actually doing it. And Bracer will help the castles at least. Red's had the stronger halbs for a bit. Red now definitely has the stronger halbs now that +2 armor is coming in. I think red will win this now. Because blue loves to run in with paladin and nothing else. And blue hates... Oh, God. Oh, God. Blue hates the idea of raiding with light cav. And also, I think blue in his mind, his or her mind, I guess, is like, there's no more possibilities here. This is what I am. This is what I can do. There's nothing else. I can't go axemen. I can't go hand cannons. Obviously, blue can do this. I can't get more upgrades. Again, obviously, blue can do this. But blue's not playing like a player who knows that it can get better. Blue's playing like a player where he's like, this is it. Okay. Collectively, between the two, I'd like this to sink in between you guys. There's 26,000 food in storage. 26,000. The best way to spend food is to go to your stables and go for the light cav line. You only get light cav if you're Franks. If you're Indians, you do get Hussar. That would be the best way. They don't like that approach. They like the pointy boys. And hey, Paladins do look pretty cool. Whoa, what the? She's like, let me in. Wait, what? How does it even happen? I have no explanation as to how that happened, but she is somehow underneath the castle. And she is, we'll give her the assist. Yeah, we'll give her the assist. As she died and fell towards the castle. The castle crumbled, so she got the final hit there. Okay, idle time, by the way. We're about to see if it goes over 24 hours. I'll look back to that. We'll go back to the KD now. Blue is going to lose a lot of production buildings here. Normally would be the time where Blue would switch the focus, right? And, like, show up here with Trebs against all this would be amazing. That's honestly the killer blow. You show up with Trebs here, you take that castle, you take a range out and run it with Paladins, Red's in trouble. Selling food for gold is also something that Red could be doing, but I guess in Red's case, Red already has gold. Oh my goodness, Blue. I think Blue's getting fed up with this. And Blue's gonna go for, oh geez, a ton of Pala. Remember, Chivalry's in, guys, so these Paladins will arrive pretty quickly, even though it's only out of 4 stables. And there is gold income here as well, though that's getting killed off right now. Would definitely have helped Blue to maybe use the blacksmith to get fletching. And Bodcanero to help with the anything near the castle. I think Red is about to build up confidence to make a move for this. I can't find the hand cannons. Or the bombard cannons. Oh, they're right there behind the gate. Okay. Just look at the army value in a second. And I can't wait to show you the difference in the HP. You ready? Look at the difference. It's insane. Paladins are nuts. Oh, and Blue finds the Trebs. What a tilter. What a tilter. Oh, and the Paladins can leave as well. Oh my god. Okay, so those Trebs go down. And this gives Blue a little bit more time to be able to deal with this. Blue will wreck that so hard. Oh my god. Blue's like, farming is important. I have farm bonuses, so let's treb down the opponent's mill. Oh, geez. Just fight it, dude. Just fight it. Just fight it. Just fight it. Just fight it. Stop running. Just fight it. Just fight it. Just fight it. Please just fight it. Don't stop running. Please fight it. Let your units attack. There you go. Let your units attack. It's an easy and clear. Castle does go down. Stop building the castle there. Build it up on the hill. Oh, my word. Okay. There's a militia in there. They're really working off scraps right now on Red's base. And now I'll turn it back to idle time. And it does say 1 day for Haloff. As I'm sure Red will make it there as well. Red's hand cannon, see the Trebs? This has been a pick off the Trebs type of game. That's what Red wants to do. I think it would have been slightly better to maybe back up with the hand cannons and keep them alive. The Trebs actually don't go down. And Blue's got 40 Paladin right now. Keep in mind, Red does have full upgrades based on what's available. Oh, geez. I think these things saw a target and just came out here on their own. Okay, Red noticed. Yeah, Indians do not get the final armor upgrade for their Halps, which does hurt. And I was waiting for this. Okay, I was waiting for this. Right as Blue hits 1 day of villager idle time. The monastery gets taken out. And now, we'll see if either of them think about that. But those relics are some of the most important things on the map right now. Blue, stop making your castles at the bottom. He might not know that hill bonuses exist. Like this, bottom of a hill. This, bottom of a hill. This, bottom of a hill. Place it at the top of the hill, and you do more damage, and you also receive less damage. It's huge. Come to think of it, Blue also made the castle here at the bottom of a hill. It's easier to push stone down the hill. T90 so low elo. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh God. Oh, geez. the moment we're getting your eco upgrades hurts you. I can't see how much is on that tree, but I think red noticed something here. Great awareness, actually. And red's going to drop a guard tower. I don't hate that, but I do hate the fact that that lady is chopping a tree and I can't... Oh, no! You dumb lady! Oh, geez, look what you did to yourself, your friends and your family. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I feel so bad for red on that one because I think red honestly pulled them back. It was either intentionally because of the tree or it was just to build the tower, but oh, geez. Gotta love Age of Empires 2, man. And after 1 hour and 40 minutes and a bunch of bottom-of-the-hill castles, Blue decides to research conscription, which I didn't even realize wasn't researched before. And that increases the production speed of military units. And Blue probably didn't know that. And oh, God! Oh, no! I can't look. I can't look. Tell me when it's over. I can't look. I just can't look at it. Okay, I'm looking at my viewers right now. I'm looking at the chat. I hear a bunch of horses dying. I'm really hoping Blue didn't just lose all those paladins. Okay, I've looked back and I see a lot of dead blue stuff. And oh, it's 100 army for red and 17 for blue. This game, there's still gold, by the way. There's still gold to be mined here. And there's still gold to be mined here. There's about, like, let's say 1,200 gold out there. And also, this is the end of Red's wood supply, or at least safe wood supply right here. And that's 25 vills. So Red's kind of winning in that Red has a lot of military, but Red is going to be more than kind of losing because Red is only going to have 40 villagers. Red realizing that this has now become a competition on who has the most idle time or who has the least idle time and realizes that it's definitely not going to be him winning that, or winning or losing, depending on which side you look at it. He's like, I don't want a day of idle time. Let's just lose all my vills. I like how the villagers fought back, too. They're very prideful villagers. They can't just accept when they need help. See, the thing is, they wanted to be halbs growing up, and their parents said, nope, sorry, you can't do that. But they had like a 1 halberdier per family rule. Oh, geez, bombard cannon, okay. Lots of bombard cannons, actually. Be careful where you're shooting those things. Oh, I love Loela Legends so much. Okay, the Paladins. Great work from Blue, I have to say, as he's lost his town center. Blue, seriously, though, has really impressed me with his Paladin micro. I mean, I say this like look at this. Look at this. I say this 5 minutes after he just lost 40 of them. But seriously impressive stuff. Meanwhile, needs to react to this. Red has no support, though. Like, that's the main issue for Red is he has to go for the killing blow. You'd think, anyways. And can't really do that. Not easily. Also, these Paladins are blinking on the minimap like they're getting attacked, but they're not. Which is weird to me. They're next to the camels, but they're not getting attacked. This is the stoppable force versus the movable object. This game doesn't make any sense, really. It doesn't. Like, and it's incredible. It is just incredible. The player with 45 villagers says, screw it. I'll fill all my population space with military. And Blue loves Paladin. So Blue's going to go for Paladin. And I don't think Blue, who will lose this castle, by the way, because it's at the bottom of a hill. I don't really think that Blue is, I guess Red doesn't have a hill bonus there. But anyways, I don't think Blue's going to be able to do it. Unless Blue makes more halbs. That's what Blue needs, is halbs. Must have run out of wood in this corner, so is coming to this corner. I mean, has the eco. But red has had the resource bank for such a long time. This is amazing. Paladins go in for the Treb. We'll get the Treb. Doink. Got him. Oh, also, I wanted to check the relics. Okay, red put the monastery back in the exact same spot. Oh, so red has had the relic gold. Yeah, the paladin number's not high enough. And blue just queues up halbs, but is now out of wood. That's pretty crazy, though, that blue's out of wood, because blue's had more vills. I guess the 1 day of idle time definitely didn't help. But what in the world? Okay, let me check resources collected throughout the whole game. Huh. Okay, so it's been a bit more wood for red. This is still pretty telling, though. 9k relic gold, and yet blue brought in more gold. It's just blue has wasted so much on paladin. And also, didn't spend any gold on infantry upgrades. Okay, I don't know what it is with blue and hills. Maybe there's some phobia of them. But this is, like, we've got castle at the bottom, tower at the bottom, and now you've got another castle at the bottom. So again, I'll just restate. If you're on top of the hill in Age of Empires, you receive 25% less damage. When you're on top of the hill, you do 25% more damage. Hill equals good. Bottom equals bad. Or worse, I would say. Height phobia is common. That's true. Maybe scared of heights. Like, right now, what I'm feeling is that blue is going to need to break into red's base to kill eco. But the thing is, there's very little eco to kill right now. That's what's funny about it. Like, he's only got 45 vills. But I still feel like, just based on game flow, he needs to do it because it's so hard for him to kill his military. But I think this has actually reached a point where red's force can't be killed by anything blue's making. There's just no doubt. And blue is focused here, which is good. Don't get me wrong. This is good. But is going to lose this position. And there's no backup plan, which I think is bad. Blue also has 2 Trebs over here that I assume have been forgotten. Yep, just 2 Trebs. I mean, not like blue can really use them right now, to be fair. Okay, T90, I learned the lesson. I will 100% in future... Oh, I will go 100% halbs in the future versus Franks. Unless they make Axeman, you're good. And honestly, halb hand cannon is good even if they do make Axeman. This is a composition that has historically given all Paladin civs problems. We don't see it as much in present-day meta because it's a little more complicated than just what unit comp you go for an imp. But, like, the counter to Persians, the counter to Huns, the counter to a lot of these civs. Maybe not so much Huns because they could go Cav Archers, but... It's been, it's not the first time I've seen this. Franks do get their own hand cannons, yes. You see what I mean? Like, blue doesn't like... I think what's happening there, guys... Oh, gosh, they're stuck. I think he clicks a target. So what I mean by that is he'll have an army, and he will click one unit in the group, and he'll say, boom, and click. And what happens is... they won't attack the first thing they encounter. They will only start to spread out and attack other things once that unit has been addressed. So if that unit's stuck in the middle, they just run. That's why best thing you can do is put them on attack stance. And either patrol in or attack move in. Or you could, if you don't like that because you don't like hotkeys, you could just sit your units right in front. Just click them there, let them do their thing. Okay, blue... it's getting to a dangerous number of halbs. Guys, if he could take care of those hand cannons, maybe there's a chance. Okay, this is a crucial moment in the game. I truly feel as though if red pushes the castles here and pushes the barracks, it's over. I don't see blue ever coming back. But there's suddenly 90 military for both players. The thing is, though, red was patient with these Trebs. And I'm a little worried red will kill himself with his own bombard cannons, but the bombard cannons should be used for the buildings here. And the hand cannons, this group of hand cannons, 61 kills. Oh no, whoa, 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 the Trebs, the Trebs, the Trebs, the Trebs, the Trebs, the Trebs! Please, 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 please. Red, 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 red. Protect your trebs. Blue, take out the trebs. See what I... Okay, units just stopped attacking. Okay, red won the game. Oh! Oh, there's paladins coming in! He's gonna lose the castle again. But there's paladins coming in out of freaking nowhere. And, well, there's still trebs firing. There's just one treb now. Bombard cannons will go down as well. I think. Blue, hello? 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 Okay, he's really trying. He's trying to, like, finish it off and then click it off to the next target. And it's very hard for him to get that timing down. You know, it takes experience to know, to get that feel. Ay, ay, ay. 60 military versus 30 military. Red's still pushing. Red is, like, running low on wood to the point where blue could trade against this army and hold the rest of the map control. Who knows? Okay, there are halbs back here. There's a monk back here. But the buildings are going down. Can't stop those hand cannons. You have worse halbs because of the lack of upgrades. I don't even know where blue built the blacksmith. Does anyone else know? Here. Okay, so it's been forgotten about. Look at red adding another gate as this gate's about to go down. Nice job from red. I'm curious on the timing here because sometimes the gates will open when you build a gate with villagers like this. Ready? Okay, didn't open. Blue now selling food, probably to make more paladin would be my guess. That is Halof's favorite unit. And I would expect the paladin to be coming out of these stables any moment now. These paladin unable to break in. More and more buildings going down. You know, back to what someone had said earlier, maybe skirms could have worked out well, right? With upgrades, of course, which are all missing. Oh, we've got mangonels right now for blue. It's so weird. Like, I guess he's got a lot on wood now. It's weird to me how red has made so many halbs and has always had wood after losing that many villagers. But did actually add a lot more, to be fair. After losing and going down to 30. Definitely popped back up there. Okay, here's blue. Okay. There's definitely an overjob here. We have been here before, guys. We have been here before. Now, Onager, not mangonels, but Onager, the upgraded version of this, would actually be a solid choice if he had army in front. Like Halb Onager, whew, that would be good. Okay, and red, did red see it? No, I don't think red did, but maybe sensed it, because red's clearly a god. And that is going to be a bunch of dead vills. And that tower, even if it completes, will do nothing. Now, what red does here is crucial. In an ideal world, red can continue to push and protect the siege, and then send all new halbs here. That's the ideal, and it looks like that's what red's doing. You defend yourself, but you continue to push, which is important. This right here is the promised land for red. If red gets here, and red is so close, this is over. Blue could make more halbs, could afford more halbs. And look at blue. Blue's like, he doesn't have wood. He must be in the corner again. He's like, what? Seriously, though. The fact that red didn't run out of wood earlier is still amazing to me. From the halbs. Oh, I just blew the last little bit of data I had hoarded on a T90 official stream. Because I forgot to turn on my Wi-Fi. Now I can't listen to anything at work for the rest of the month. Worth it, question mark? Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Why was your Wi-Fi off, though? I guess I've, like, if it wasn't... Sometimes if things aren't loading for me in my Wi-Fi, I'll turn it off temporarily. And then turn it back on in a couple minutes. And maybe that's... Oh, God, I'm yawning. Maybe that's what happened. Well, it's fitting we're near the end with that yawn. Here come the paladins. What a game, dude. What a game. It's definitely a you played 2 hours to die like this game, so it's... You know, there's a saying that nobody wins these types of games because they're so long, but I really think Red's going to be feeling good about this. I think Blue, if Blue rewatches this, it's just going to be like, how did I forget my infantry armor? Why didn't I make light cab? You know, there's a lot of things that you look back on in a game. Like, mangonels, again, they just don't do enough. I don't know if that was split formation from Red. Is Red split formationing right now? Is Red microing? Oh my goodness, what a play. But yeah, anyways, that's going to get dealt with. And of course, Blue is at the limit and is just streaming halbs into the hand cannons. Should have pointed out, by the way, that Indians do get the hand cannon unique tech. And I'm forgetting the name of it right now. Shoot. Okay, what's the one where their golden comes faster? Shoot. I forget the name of both of their upgrades. Both of them. Okay, the gold one I talked about earlier. Okay, and then Chautauqua, which is what Skylar just said in chat, is the that is the unique tech that applies to the hand cannons. The other one I mentioned earlier, that one means their golden come is a little faster, which has obviously worked out. Probably over 10k gold now. Sultans, thank you. Thank you on both counts, chat. Okay, you played 2 hours. You better make sure you spend all your resources. That's what Dad always said. Don't waste any food. And that's exactly what Halof is going for here. We will see more barracks here for Blue. I'm kind of guessing that Blue will find these trebs and be like, oh, forgot about those trebs. Oh, man. Nick says, hey guys, to run Capture Age properly, do you need a better computer than needed to play AoE? Mine is so choppy and poor quality when I try to watch games. Yeah, I think so, Nick. I think so, because you have the game running behind, right? And then it kind of recreates the game. So I think it is adding more workload to your computer. I would say that they might have some information on their website about that. As now Blue is housed. Now, Blue, you obviously are playing this game, right? This is your experience. But it is also Red's experience. And this has been a rather long game. We make the joke a lot. Mom said one more game. We make that joke all the time. But maybe, you know, as you continue to lose halbs, you eventually come to the conclusion here this is over. And you don't make this last another hour. Hand cannons are sick, man. 250 kills here for this group. Great job from Red. I think if Blue would have used Light Cav for the raids instead of Paladin and kept the Paladin alive and just waited for the proper time with Trebs, I think all this works. But using your most expensive gold unit and losing as many as was lost there, while also just not fighting for the relics at all until much later was a problem. Ting, 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 ting. It's funny, Blue actually has 68 halbs in queue. And Blue is now adding more vills, but Blue needs houses. And Blue's still going to go around and take all the wood lines. But must not realize that being pop-capped is a thing right now. Kind of what it feels like anyways. Yeah, I can't wait for the stats at the end. Actually, you can see the Eco KD. Red lost 138 villagers this game, which it doesn't feel like that many actually compared to some of the pro games we watch. But I guess losing that many and then still adding more throughout the game is impressive at this elo. The still just keep staring at the idle time from Blue, and that was also a moment where I think Blue had the eco lead in terms of the stats, but just really struggled due to not having the villagers working. How much should spies be? So spies is... Ooh, here's a suggestion, chat. What do you think about the devs making spies a bit cheaper? So, here's an example of it. We have 65 villagers for Blue. It is 200 gold per villager when researching spies. What if it was like 100 gold Even 100 gold is a lot. 50 gold or 100 gold, yeah, to research spies. So it would be more doable when someone just doesn't want to give up, or the leading player with the relics or the bank, whatever, could research it. Do you guys like that or hate that? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's not like spies is like a game-breaking thing. Like, oh, spies is too cheap. So-and-so just lost the game. Oh. You know, it's not like it's that big a deal. But I always feel like we have these games where someone's clearly ahead a lot. And it's just never conceivable to research spies. Like, even now, it's just not conceivable to research spies with 3,500 gold. I think 100's fine. Someone's at 30 vils, then it's still 3k gold, which is really expensive if you want to do it. I think, yeah, I actually think it's a good idea. I might pass it along to the devs. Again, it's not gonna break the game. You know, it's not gonna be OP or anything like that. By the way, red has 3 on wood right now, and red can't make any more halbs. God, if these hand cannons wouldn't be here. If these hand cannons were to somehow go on no attack stance, I'm telling you. There isn't that big of a difference with the vil count. You never know. Cheaper spies would mess up team games. Would it though? What's 200 times a... Well, I guess they'd never go 200 vils. Is spies based on vils or is spies based on units? It's based on vils, right? So 100 times 100. Yeah, I guess it's more doable to research spies then. You could just make it so spies doesn't work in team games. But I guess that's another change. It's tricky. Okay, here go the pointy boys. Great unit control here from red yet again. Blue still doesn't want to give it up. Yeah, I personally like 100 per vil. But the max is at like 30k if they're over a certain amount. I actually don't know how that works. I think it should get cheaper the fewer number of vils are. Like 50 vils is 200 gold, but 15 is 50 each. Yeah, it's probably harder to program though, right? Like the way it works now is really easy. But anyways, in this situation, I just feel like someone should be able to research spies if they have 4k gold and the relics, right? It happens enough times. With the math example I used, with 42 villagers right now, Red could at least consider it. I don't know if you'd actually want to do that. I don't know if you'd want to use all your gold for that, but it would be an option. Yeah, I've been told that Blue's Trebs have moved. Blue's Trebs have moved! And Red's got a militia! Oh, jeez. Red's militia almost saving the day there. That was not what I expected to see when I looked over here. And Blue losing more villagers. Blue probably just watching the Trebs and the Halbs right now. This was a great game. Today, this won't matter to the people who are watching later on. But for those in the stream, like, I was saying we didn't really have that back and forth crazy Lel game today. And this is the one. I think we had stubbornness in this game. We had micro in this game. We had pretty solid macro. We had a lot of hesitancy. Like, I think Blue might get frustrated and be like, I'm more aggressive than this guy, and I couldn't kill him. I mean, we're seeing some of that stubbornness now from Blue, too. But, yeah. Anyways, there's no easy way for Red, as they'll see the Trebs get taken out, to see everything now. In case it needed clarification, Spies is when you can see everything that your opponent can see. And it's normally very rare because of the cost. Now, if Red were to sell 20,000 food... I mean, we should also say that Red should have a lot more gold. Like, Red might be able to research Spies the normal price. I'm just slowly taking out Blue. Not seeing any real attempt from Blue to do anything except sit here. In fact, I'll look at the APM. Blue's there. In fact, apparently Blue's consistently slower. That's an interesting one. I guess Blue has also had no army for a while. But looks like the average military APM a little higher for red. If I had to guess, I would think that comes back to the production. Also, these villagers are not working anymore. Hey, did he pass a day? Hey, both players passed a day of idle time. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Okay, blue is now making a run for it. But I don't know what it is. Normally when you say run for it, it's like they're running towards a certain destination. Hey, there's still gold in the middle. There you go. Maybe over to this area. Yeah. Blue's producing over here. Blue's trying to split up. Just casually walking through the middle of the map. And where are these vills going? I don't know. I don't know what their job is. But they're going to die. Enjoy the bullets to the face. Yeah, blue has less army. Obviously, the military APM changes. Okay, these villagers are going down. The other villagers saw the writing on the wall, so they left. All right, good decision. Random camels going down. That's actually the first camel we've seen die in this game. That's a stat right there. At 2 hours and 22 minutes, that is the first camel we've seen go down in a Franks versus Indians matchup. Oh, lion. Oh, he couldn't decide. Woo, 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 woo. This should be a kill. Hey, time to get town watch. Let's go, vision. Yeah, baby. Woo, woo, woo. Dead. Oh, geez, they work together. Way to go, guys. Did you not care about the other guy? Like, what was that about? 33 pop for blue. Blue is now going to make a market. Blue has very little remaining. Now, at this point, it would be doable for our red player to research spies. Has not happened yet. But these villagers are going to get shot down. We now have town patrol. This is going to give a lot of vision to the buildings that are out there. So, timely research here for red, I guess. And blue is, I can just already tell, just going to run around with these paladins and not give it up for a while. This looks like a YouTube thumbnail, you know? Like, he ran... The fact he ran through the gate is just still so funny to me. It doesn't matter, but there's no reason to run through it. He runs through it anyways. Well, I'm going to say this. Oh, yeah, you're right. You can't research spies if you're red because there's no castle. I will say this. I think we've all played at a time where we would run around with armies and hide our last villagers. I think that time is normal for a lot of players, but you know, past a certain point, I would say that it is kind of unfair to the opponent. I guess it is one of the things that makes Age of Empires, but I would say that to anyone who's watching who has the idea to do this, as red 105s him, the "you can resign again" taunt. Woo! I like it, actually. Normally, like, when the 105 was introduced to the game, really was not a fan of it, because I think Age of Empires is not the type of community to you know, taunt each other in a serious way and be a jerk. That 105, though, I think makes sense. You need to resign here. Yeah, you can resign again. Here come the paladins. They're gonna just snipe the bombard cannon and run away. I only ever do it with friends. Yeah. I think this is fine though. I think blue has crossed that line of what is okay and what is not a long time ago with this. Okay, so the good news for us is blue doesn't actually have any villagers now. And blue has 3 army. There's 1 Halp, which is here. And you've got 2 paladins. Why is it resign again? I don't know, actually. I never really understood why it was you can resign again. Because it doesn't seem like hugely relevant to most of the situations. Boom, friendly fire. Can you imagine being killed off by your own unit when the enemy only has 2 guys? Look at blue. Look, blue was impressive with this all game. Seriously was. Okay, there's 1 more paladin. I think we can salute blue a little more because blue isn't running around the whole map. Blue is at least getting in close to everything. Now maybe that's too soon. Maybe. Okay. Okay, now, okay, 105, 105, 105. 105,000. I hate that. If you're going to wait to the very end, okay? If you're going to wait to the very end, you better let him defeat you. That's my take, okay? So if you want to be that guy, if you want to wait down to the final unit, do not resign, which you could have done in the first place like 20 minutes ago. Still a great game. Still a great game. I had a lot of fun casting that one. I mean, Red. How many times was Red rated in this game? It felt like Red was rated 1,000,000 times. Benefited, though, from some of the earlier things, like getting the relics. From a really good and compact farming eco, and also having the walls. And I think from just working with a more cost-effective comp, which was fully upgraded. Not fully upgraded to what other civs can do, but fully upgraded to what Indians can do. I guess the hand cannons didn't have the armor the whole time, but the halbs. You've got to be getting armor on the halbs there, and that's something blue still didn't have at the very end. I think if blue would have raided with the light cab, blue could have won this game. Blue would have considered other units, maybe. If blue would have maybe made castles on top of hills instead of at the bottom of hills, I think this could have been a very different game. But yeah, let's look at this final group of hand cannons. We have 338 kills. Not too shabby. And here's the overall stats for you. It was crazy. Like, I really loved how blue would continue to try and raid from the sides and switch sides. I really like that. I just think that with no relics, with 15,000 relic gold here from red, the clock is ticking on those types of things. If you have the relics, it's very different. Because blue actually had more gold collected that game and didn't have that big of a boost from relics. So I think if the relics are in, you could just make paladins all game. But the relics are not in, and eventually you hit a bad spot, blue, where you couldn't make any more paladins. And, whoo, man. That was a doozy. Like, look how far ahead blue was with population here. Now, this is where it gets deceiving. Because I remember this. It was like 100 villagers for blue. And it was like 50-ish or like 60-ish for red. And blue had those idols, remember. There was a point where blue had 90 villagers and 50 of them were idle and not working. And it stayed like that for a long time. So I think when you look at that timeline, it's actually a little deceiving. Because this doesn't show if they were working or not. Red didn't make a single stable unit. Like, if red would have gone for the raids, just one or two hustlers here or there, red would have won this game a long time ago with how it was going. Just refused to do it and ended the game with 48,700 food in the bank. The gold's not too shabby either. Well played to red. I don't see a lot of low elo players be able to keep up with raids like that. Blue was persistent. Blue was annoying. Blue had a great position in this game for a while, so well played to red. Congratulations on his victory there. And to everyone who watched this along with me, I hope it was exciting. I hope you didn't fall asleep to it, which I know is, just going to happen anyways. Some people are going to feel called out by that. But no, seriously, I hope it was a back and forth game that kind of taught people some things. I still think if we go back, like maybe 30 minutes game time, it still was winnable for either player. Still. But, Blue's lack of eco caught up with him.